Hi Scorpio, Sun, Moon and Rising, welcome to Ethernal Realms and welcome to your May reading. So we have a solar eclipse, we had a solar eclipse on the 21st of April that was in Aries, and now we have a lunar eclipse in your zodiac on the 5th of May. So this will be kind of completing what the first part of the eclipse series has brought into your life already. So whatever is developing, this is going to provide that balancing influence that brings in that wholesome change that we see during eclipses. On the first of the month, we have Pluto going retrograde, and this is your ruling planet. When it goes retrograde, there are some things that we need to take a look at from the inside out, and the power that comes through is from the inside out. Okay, we need to learn the power of transformation within, and because this is already your ruler and that's already what your zodiac symbolizes, it's going to be more about like that internal sense of pride as well. Not really pride, but your internal power to exert yourself. You're kind of seeing things from a different perspective here, especially because Pluto is in Aquarius, and that's your fourth house of inner self, your private self, home and family as well. There can be some, things that you have not acknowledged or not seen in that perspective that can come up here. I have Scorpio rising, and I've noticed that I get some random dreams that don't make sense, or they're very weird. Like it's very hard to know what they are really symbolizing, so it can be wild in that way. So with this retrograde going on, this gives us a chance to figure things out from the grassroots. Okay, and we had Saturn here in the zodiac for the last 2-3 years, and we've gone through some sort of transformations internally, or rather we have some epiphanies or lessons that we've had to go through from a deeper sense, or through our family members or through our ancestry and so on. Okay, but when Pluto comes in here, he's trying to transform everything from the grassroots. It's like, this does not remain, this does not stay here, it's inauthentic, let's get rid of that. So with retrograde, it's like you are doing this yourself from the internal side of things instead of having Pluto do it for you. While in April, you could have received some sort of, guidelines or epiphanies, some realizations that could have come up when Pluto was direct. So the moment it's retrograde, it's kind of giving you that space to figure it out. Okay, it's like going to class and you study a whole bunch of things, and it's whole like a jumbled mess in your head, and then you come back or you revise at some point, or you go through it all over again, and you see that it makes a lot more sense because you took your time with it, right? So it's that kind of phase. All right, now on the 7th, we have Venus moving into Cancer. It's a maternal zodiac, and Venus takes on a maternal role over here. So you can find yourself connecting with your mother figures or other feminine figures that you look up to. You can also be feeling more drawn towards home and family. For you, it's in the 9th house, so you could be traveling abroad to meet your family, or you're thinking about what types of beliefs and philosophies you have regarding home situations, family members, and to the maternal role as a whole. Okay, you can also be nurturing certain long-term projects, future visions that you have, and kind of looking at where you can expand that would make you feel very good, make you feel at home in the future, in a sense. You can connect with the divine as well, and you might find a lot of support and guidance that comes through in very synchronistic ways, okay? And I think we could all use that, especially with Scorpio eclipses, which can be a little bit intense this time, as compared to 2022, because we don't have Saturn holding anything back, okay? So it can be that if something needs to purge, it's just gonna purge. So there's no resistance there, there's no discussion that goes on before the purging happens. A little bit more involuntary than the previous year. Okay, now all of this time Mercury is still retrograde. It went retrograde on the 21st of April, and on May 15th it is going to turn direct. So the plans, purchases, and technological advancements, implementation of ideas and so on, that can go ahead. You're more likely to make better decisions at this time, or enough information is going to be there beyond this point. I would say wait at least like a week or so before you make like major purchases of any type, because there can be some sort of defects that you might find. It's easily fixable for sure, but you might still find some defects, or something is just not written or is unclear or was kind of forgotten to mention, but the implications are not going to be as high as compared to when Mercury is retrograde. But it depends on your situation, your use case, and so on. Like if you're booking for flight tickets, which is really expensive, maybe waiting a week or so would be a good idea. But if you're going to like the neighboring city or so, then I guess it's manageable, right? So that's a judgment call. All right, now this is taking place, of course, in your 7th house. Any misunderstandings that you've been having with your partners, with your one-on-one relationships, client relationships, and so on, that is more likely getting cleared. And while it is in retrograde, if you have your own business, you can be attracting clients who have been there with you. It can also be that you're going over some sort of conversations you've had with your partners, and you're kind of clarifying that from a different perspective. But after it goes direct, you have new communication, new client relationships, and new questions that could come up, and you're dealing with just new things in general, but this time with like newfound clarity and also a lot of experience. Next day, we have Jupiter moving into Taurus again, so there can be a lot of expansion in terms of relationships. If you already are with someone, then this talks about expanding, taking it to the next level. There can be some, bigger discussions that you have with one another, and you get on the same page regarding that. It can also be a conversation about finances. You could be up-leveling your lifestyle in general, and also, what else? Yes, you could be thinking about other people's priorities, you are learning about what other people might need. And again, that goes for one-to-one friendships, and also clients, and also your romantic and business partners. This can also indicate that you have more scope. If you are not in a relationship, this gives you a chance to meet someone with whom you can see a future. Okay, so you feel secure and connected from that basis. And it's likely that either you come from the same culture, same background, or you have the same philosophies and belief systems in life. Okay, then we have on the 19th a new moon in Taurus. So this brings like a new beginning within your relationship sphere, but it's also about the 7th house talks about your, other people and how they see you as well. So they can see you in a new light, or there can be a new relationships that form on a new foundation and so on, right? So it's a very new thing. Seeds are being planted. If you want, intend, make manifestations around this time, because it's likely to come very, very true, especially Taurus being a tangible sign. It all talks about bringing something to the material, okay? On the 20th, we have Mars moving into Leo. That would be in your 10th house, and this is about your career, your goals, ambitions, and how the public sees you as well, and how you are presenting yourself in the public sphere too. So Mars being there, the shadow side is greed, pride, and narcissism, just taking something to a whole other level, or it can be just overdoing it because you're overestimating your energy level that day, or your capacity in that time, or even knowledge in some cases, okay? But the positive side is that you're able to put yourself out there very confidently. You might be more visible, and you might be attracting a lot of energetic people. Perhaps your public life is a little bit more dynamic, so more people might be wanting to meet you, especially with all that parallel storyline going on with your partnerships. You're more visible, and if you want to be the one taking initiative in a romantic context as well, that is very possible, and you're likely to meet this person in a career setting or in a public environment. Okay, now on the 21st, we have Sun moving into Gemini, and that begins Gemini season. So this is related to the 8th house for you, if we go by Scorpio being your rising sign. And Gemini is about the thought process that you have, and in the 8th house, it's the subconscious thought processes, the mindset shifts that are coming in. You're focused more on esotericism, the metaphysical, shared resources, investments and loans. You're also looking at where you spend your energy, or what type of connections are you forming with the people that you're meeting, okay? So, for example, how vulnerable are you, or how vulnerable can you go with this person. If that is not there, if there is no intellectual compatibility, etc., then you might think about not going further with that. You're just very focused on these priorities and you're very serious about doing something about it. For some of you, you can even be going for therapy, or you're self-hypnotizing, or you're learning a little bit more about these topics, which are more hidden in nature. And you're gathering a lot more recognition of what you already know as well. Like as you keep reading these things or learning about different topics, you're like, yeah, you know what, I was right. I guessed it. Something like that, where just this intuition or this inner knowing just comes up to the surface with the sun being there. Any hidden information as well comes to light. Any difficult mental habits we have which stop us from flourishing, that is also going to come up to light so that we can deal with those things. We have a lot of aspects going on in the 2nd and the 4th weeks of the month, also in the 1st and the 3rd actually, but I'm not talking about those things. I only discussed the major things going on here in this month, but if you're curious, I will post about that in my community page. You can check it out. So we have, I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. Okay. I saw 1111, by the way. Then we have the first major highlight is Peacock, beware of great pride. Yes, every zodiac has been getting some or the other indication of like, oh, beware, okay? Because Mars and Leo can be a little bit too much. It's really excited, especially because it's coming out of Cancer, where it was not very happy. It was a little bit moody and, working according to, do I feel like working? Do I feel like doing something, and so on. And because that is your co-ruler, it definitely impacts you as to what Mars is doing in the skies, right? So in Leo, it might be just like, okay, I'm ready to go. Okay, I want to socialize with everybody. I want to do everything out there. I want to accomplish everything. Let's go get it, So that's what the Peacock is referring to, I think. All right, we have dealings or relationship with a younger man. And younger does not have to be by age necessarily. It can be level of experience or maturity as well. Then we have Archway, which is new opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up. We have your first oracle card here as one step ahead is all you need. Yeah, this is about taking initiative. Mars is very initiatory, and in your career house it can talk about making moves in the area of your goals, which are creative or passionate in nature. All right, so you take the first move there. Then we have what's your honest truth. Yeah, you're definitely questioning some things like, is this authentic to me? Is this real for me right now? Does it make sense for my life at this moment? Is this really what I'm wanting? Or is this something that I have wanted, so I'm just kind of sticking to that, right? That's a very important question here. Then we have the now. So the mindful moments is just coming up very loud and clear. Maybe you're trying to be more mindful, or you're kind of learning the power of the now, the present moment, and things like that, but you're recognizing the little small blessings. And because you're doing that, you're kind of catching on to new opportunities and possibilities as well. Because sometimes it's just so easy to get caught up in the future or in the past, especially when we have the 10th house activity as well going on. And Mars in Cancer could have put you focusing on the future, the big picture, the goals, and like where do we want to go and things like that. But in Leo, it's like, okay, but we got to make it happen. So you're in the now, you're focused, you're in the zone as well, something I hear. Okay, let's see your tarot cards. We have the Hanged One or the Hanged Man. We have the 10 of Pentacles. Here we did have that family going on. We have the Tower coming up next. We have the Page of Wands. And we have the 2 of Pentacles. Okay. It's a whole mix of energies, I'm going to say. Okay, it's like there is a time for pausing, and there is some change. There's involvement with the family, finances, also juggling your time and effort. You're trying to find like the right balance here. With the Hanged One, it feels as though you're letting go of something, okay? I want to know a little bit more specifically, what does the Hanged Man symbolize for Scorpios in the month of May? Can we please please clarify the Hanged Man, Scorpios for the month of May. Okay, we have the Empress coming through, and let's clarify the Tower as well while we are at it. We have the Six of Swords. Yeah, that's the Swords. Okay, so this is like moving on from something that is just not fulfilling for you, and that can be like family circumstances like I talked about, but it can also be like changes in travel plans if you have some bookings here in the month of May, or if you're planning for travel later on, you might like shift certain things around, and perhaps there's like a flow of money happening as a result of that, some refunds from previous bookings and like paying for the new ones, things like that could come up. Now the Hanged Man and the Empress is like discovering your true worth, or like understanding where you... it's like I'm getting random words here, but how do I string them together? It's like you're recognizing that you are the abundance and you are the money, basically. By money I don't mean like the literal thing, but money as an abundance and worth and the joy and everything that you can get, you know, and also everything tangible. So you're recognizing that you are the principal mover of that, and you might be also understanding what exactly it is about you that makes you special or gives you that sense of abundance too, you know, because it can also come through like other people. They have an opinion about you, or they say something and you're like, oh yeah, I do that, you know, I do have that quality, and you don't know about it because perhaps you're too close to your situation. But in this month you're getting that new perspective, basically. It can even be a maternal figure that brings you this insight, and it kind of gives you more clarity as to what you are capable of. Okay, Mars and Leo can also bring in, you know, a lot of compliments, okay, and a lot of expansion. So beware of great pride can, you know, serve as a warning to that as well. Make sure that you're on strong footing, that you're staying grounded and in the present moment, and so on, to ensure that the success is lasting and it's forever growing. But the Tower with the Six of Swords gives me the vibe that something is opening up for you to move out of stagnancy as well, you know, to create something new, make more room, more flexibility, perhaps shifting your routines in some way. But simultaneously it's getting a little bit busier, but in a very good way. The Page of Wands and the Two of Pentacles is like, I'm loving this busy. It's a good kind of busy, right? You're meeting your loved ones, you're doing what you enjoy. You also have your like commitments going on, but you're kind of feeling a lot more free with the opportunities that are coming through here, especially the archway present over there. The Page of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, also the Empress actually indicates that there's a lot of passion that's coming in here in your romantic relationships, but also your social life in general. There can be extra, you know, appointments or attention that people want from you, and you kind of have to make the judgment call as to who or what you're going to prioritize in that situation. But absolutely having a priority list is going to become quite important in this month. If you don't already have one, this month is going to kind of urge you to make that happen. You are definitely making time for things that are related to your home, your family, and things that you enjoy doing. Page of Wands, absolutely passionate, absolutely creative, and is all about self-expression. So you're making that happen. I am love and miracles are natural. Yeah, so there can be some breakthroughs in that way that you're just absolutely not expecting, okay? The Tower is something that is surprising or shocking in some way. And like I said, it's a breakthrough that allows you to keep moving away from things that are stagnant and so on. So I think this is the miraculous solution that comes in, or miraculous travel plan that comes up, and you don't really know what to expect, and you go there and you're like, hey, this is pretty good. And probably you might not see the results right now because it's just the first step, but you're going with it, and later down the line you'll see that it makes a lot of sense, or it is turning out beneficially for you. Your intuition is strong in this month, by the way. Okay, I don't know why that feels like a random thing given the cards here, actually, but I think your intuition is quite strong. You're also more connected with the universe in general. You might be calling the universe your home. So in that way, you're safe at every point, in every place, with anyone. You're always safe in that way, right? So I think there's a deepening of connection in that regard. Okay, so let's get your astro dice. In a financial sense, honestly, it looks like it's growing in a career perspective as well. There could be some changes that you're making or you're wanting to make here, and the breakthrough happens at this time. But all of this is kind of taking you to some place that's a lot more loving, a lot more exciting for you as well. The younger man could be like a younger sibling, for example. Maybe they are making travel plans and they want to meet you, and that's very exciting for you as well. Because I did mention, right, that there are so much activity going on in like other people. So if you have a close bond with a younger sibling of sorts, or cousins or nephews, nieces, whatever it is, if you have close relationships with them, they could be going through a lot of abundance and growth. Maybe they're getting into a college, or they're getting a bit of a scholarship or some financial gain in some way as well, and that makes you very, very happy and proud of this person over here, right? Okay, let's see, what else do we have for Scorpios in the month of May, please? We have Jupiter, Capricorn in the 7th house. You see, again, the 7th house coming out loud and clear. Taurus is a fellow earth sign of Capricorn, so I think something that either your partner or some of your one-on-one relationships have worked hard for, they are getting a lot of abundance, and you are experiencing that joy and success through them as well. Another thing can be that you are acquiring a lot of partners or forming very realistic relationships with other people, and you can feel very secure with them. It feels right that you are increasing or upgrading your relationship level, whether you're single right now or taken or whatever the status is. There is some sort of growth and stability that happens in that regard here, and that just makes you feel very thankful and abundant as well. In terms of business, this talks about after a period of slow growth, there can be more reward and more acknowledgement that comes in, and you're again very humble about it. You're going through the motions, you're doing your stuff and so on, but you're also getting the rewards for that. Let's go one more for Scorpio, please, for the month of May. We have Capricorn again, Jupiter again in the 12th house. Yeah, so there can be some symbolism and intuitive downloads that come in here. Your spiritual connection is very strong. You can, if you're interested in, if you're already doing some spiritual work, for example, this can be if you're learning something that took you a very long time to gather, but now it feels almost natural and intuitive to you. So you can do it even in your sleep, that kind of expertise. The inner expert, the inner authority, that is waking up here with Jupiter. I think you have a lot of knowledge on how to handle all of this energy that you have, the power that you have, and the knowledge that you're getting and about to get as well. 12th house is kind of an unseen house, right? So anything can happen, but Jupiter being there symbolizes that you are being protected from kind of everything that is beyond your control. It's like the universe has got your back, and you still have to do your part, but you're definitely protected from anything that could go haywire, basically. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Scorpios. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope the reading resonated and that it helps you out. Let me know your thoughts, and if you want a personal reading, you can reach me via Etsy. The link is in the description box and the comment below. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye.